From Sigma Woman, this is the Business for Aligned Women podcast. I'm your host, Clara McKay, your aligned business coach and advocate for all things showing up for your vision. This is a no BS space for brave-hearted women who are actually craving change. I'm dedicated to bringing women's visions into reality, equipping women with all they need to build an abundant future, and shutting down all of the ways that you keep yourself small. Here, we're all about a women-centered approach, non-negotiable value alignment, and making bank without compromising your well-being. Each week, you're already one step closer to your most aligned and abundant future. Welcome to this week's episode. We're going to be talking about taking on so much advice from especially free spaces and content that your mental channels feel clogged. I wanted to just give you one last opportunity to win all of my self-led trainings, which would just set you up so well for the new year in business. And you can go into the running to win those by filling out my end of year listener survey in the show notes right now. Take you about 3 minutes, and that might just be the kickstart that your business needs this year. So I just wanted to acknowledge that there is so much advice out there, and so much of it is highly complicated and overwhelming. One thing that I try to do on this podcast, I think I have succeeded, I'm not sure, is simplify things and break things down and give you short episodes with small actionable items and short lists so that you can actually make some changes and shifts in your business and not do it in a way that is going to disrupt your nervous system. 2025 is the year in business that you get your marketing set from the foundations up. It's so important to make sure that you have really strategic foundations in your marketing before you do anything else. I work with a lot of women who've gone and invested in beautiful photography or beautiful branding or getting their website built or all of these things, but they haven't got these basic foundational non-negotiables in their marketing. When you don't have this, all of that effort and investment, time and energy will be wasted because we can't come up with really great marketing ideas if we don't know who we're specifically talking to in our business and these other foundational pieces that are required by every single business, no matter what you do, no matter if you're product-based or service-based or who you serve. Getting these foundations right will allow you to meet and speak directly to the people who are ready to buy from you and work with you. You can start this today in the Brand Magnetism 101 training. Jump in the show notes now. I actually think when I see or hear people giving really intense dude bro kind of marketing advice, especially on socials and sometimes on podcasts as well, I think it's actually a manipulation strategy. And I think it is really based in kind of cultic tactics. And maybe I just see this more because I do have experience being in cults, of that word salad thing of if you don't understand what they're saying, then it will make you feel dumb and left out and desperate to get back into the inner circle. Therefore, you'll buy their offerings in order to get back in. It's a great marketing strategy, don't get me wrong. It's just not in integrity for me and how I do my business. So I specifically, towards the end of last year, made a really simple, really actionable tool to make over your Instagram. It's my Optimize Your Instagram for Sales checklist. And I wanted to do this to clear out all of this noise. And the reality is, I'm not saying that a lot of the advice is wrong. A lot of it's probably amazing. But when you're just getting so much conflicting advice all the time, it generally will result in you not doing anything. And I wanted to put something together that was just like less than 25 points, very, very simple, very, very short little actionable tasks that you could literally work through and check off in less than 30 minutes. If you hear Cinnamon snoring next to me, I don't apologize. I wanted to remind you of this checklist, go and have a look. And I also wanted to say that, especially if you're relying on Instagram as your main way to get new clients, which is not what I would suggest, but you do you, babe. You really want to make sure that your Instagram is functioning in a way that is tip-top shape and sales focus, sales oriented. And as you go through this checklist, you'll see that doesn't mean ick. You're not becoming a car salesman. You probably won't even notice the changes. It's just simple little changes to make it easier for people to buy from you. So I wanted to cut through some of the noise, let you understand and have it be okay that if you feel a bit clogged on advice, that's okay. And if you need to take a break from listening to big business podcasts or business books to process and then implement, that is absolutely amazing. That is what I do in my business. And I recently had a really incredible client who would actually ask me to pause in talking so that she could process and then come back to me. In 7 years of working with women, that has never, ever happened to me before. And it's just so intelligent, so self-aware, so confident. And I think there are a lot of people who need that, who aren't doing that because they don't feel like they're allowed to. And being able to say, hang on, I'm going to process the information that I have got, and I'm going to implement some before I get new advice is really, really important. And to make it easier for you and simpler for you, I really do think that this checklist is a very actionable, very grounded, yet comprehensive way to actually move into implementation rather than information sourcing. All right. Block out your calendar for 30 minutes, grab the free checklist now and get it done so that you can access some of that increased confidence, increased dopamine, and take a little break and then only open up to more information when you feel ready. If you can't tell, getting to share this time with you is something that I find truly sacred. I know that you're busy, but if you've taken anything away from our time spent together today, could you extend the love and share this episode with a friend, your community, or on your socials? Tag me so that I can see it and I can share it too. Or when you have a spare moment, leave the podcast for review. These things cost you nothing and will mean so much to me. Let's get this resource into the hands of more women visionaries and help us collectively move towards our most aligned way of being and doing business together.